Just a moment, but first I want to tell you about a 19-month-old baby boy who is now safe and at home this morning after police say his mother, who does not have custody of him, may have tried to kidnap him. The sheriff's office triggered an Amber Alert yesterday around 5 p.m. because CYFD said the baby was in imminent danger. The boy's mother, 19-year-old Brittany Carr, allegedly took him during a supervised visit.
During that supervised visit, she grabbed her son, ran out of the house into a waiting car.
A couple hours later, the baby and mother were found near Highland High School. Deputies say the driver of the car who dropped them off left. That person has not been found. Right now, Carr is jailed on kidnapping charges and might appear before a judge today.
One of New Mexico's top companies is in a lot of trouble this morning because investigators say it was wasting your money and ripping off the government. ARA, Applied Research Associates, here in Albuquerque, has settled the investigation and now has to pay back the federal government $1.1 million, including $220,000, which will go to a whistleblower. The feds say ARA was billing the government for its own expenses with research and development and its payroll, and using that money to pay executives there even more. Government says one of ARA's workers in Vermont saw this was happening, told his bosses about it here in Albuquerque, but they didn't care and even retaliated against him. Again, ARA is settling with the government. It has not admitted that it has done anything illegal. Two popular horse trainers here in New Mexico won't be at the track anytime soon because they're accused of illegally doping horses. Investigators say John Bassett gave a horse demorphine, which is a powerful narcotic. So now he's been suspended for 10 years, has to pay a $10,000 fine, and give up all the money he has won racing. And investigators say Carl Draper gave a horse something called ractopamine. It's a growth hormone. So now he is suspended for 10 months and has to pay a $6,000 fine. Remember this summer, a Larry Barker investigation exposed a number of horse trainers who were illegally doping horses. We hear more of them should be disciplined this week.
This morning, investigators continue to look for 5 of the 6 men who took off recently from a halfway house. One of those men, Daniel Royval, turned himself in yesterday. Authorities say he and others climbed a fence at the Men's Recovery Academy in Los Lunas Sunday night. Authorities say they went drinking, came back to the academy, and then took off again. A teen in Los Lunas who beat a man to death with a bamboo stick will spend 15 years in prison. Stephen Ayers was sentenced as an adult for killing a 51-year-old man back in 2009. Ayers was 16 at the time. The victim was in a coma at first and then died 3 weeks later.
The trial continues this morning for the man accused of killing a 17-month-old baby in Rio Arriba County. Nathan Montoya's trial started on Monday on what would have been Briandra Pena's 3rd birthday. Investigators say Montoya abused and killed that little girl 2 years ago. If he is convicted, he could get life in prison. Well, this morning we know that a former Albuquerque police officer cannot get another badge here in New Mexico right now. Yesterday we learned the Law Enforcement Academy Board stripped Levi Chavez of his certification. He's out of jail on bond right now after investigators say he shot and killed his wife back in 2007, then tried to make it look like a suicide. Chavez is supposed to go to trial next year.
Bernalillo County is getting more sheriff deputies. Last night, the county commission gave Sheriff Dan Houston the okay to hire another 15 deputies. The sheriff, who's a Republican, had originally asked for 20 deputies earlier this year, but the commission, which then had a Democratic majority, gave him just 5. There's been a political shift on the commission since then, and now there is a Republican majority. The Albuquerque Police Officers Association will hold a news conference today to talk about a new initiative for uniformed officers. No clue yet on what the measure might be, but count on News 13 to keep you informed. We will have more on this and what the union may want in our later newscasts.
It's like a real-life case of Edward Scissorhands. UNM police say they've caught this man, Lawrence Ginn, with scissors in his hand, snipping away at tree branches on the university's campus. Police say it is not the first time they have caught Ginn doing this. In fact, he's not supposed to be on the university's property, period. Mr. Ginn is now charged with criminal trespassing. And how to deal with all the inmates at the Metro County Detention Center, that's going to be the main topic tonight at Bernalillo County's Public Safety Advisory Board meeting. That is open to the public. It'll be at the Allison Bruce King Education Complex in the northeast part of the city, and it starts at 6 o'clock.
Well, it seems a bit early to talk about the holidays, right? Well, not really, because this morning it's not so much the shopping we're talking about, it's about the jobs.
And lots of jobs, as a matter of fact, because more stores say they're going to get ready to hire more seasonal workers this year than they have in the past few years. News 13's David Romero is at Coronado Center, where a lot of those jobs are going to be. So, David, how many jobs are we talking about here in Albuquerque?
Well, Matt, even just here at Coronado Center, we're talking in the thousands, about 2,000 alone, and that could mean a lot of new jobs for a lot of new people this holiday season. And of course, national experts estimate this to be one of the best seasons on record as far as the high number of jobs available. Now, a recent national survey by management consulting firm Hay Group says, or rather shows, 57% of retailers plan to hire the same number of workers as last holiday. And get this, 36% are planning on hiring even more. Here in New Mexico, we spoke with a number of retailers, and some of them say they expect to have big numbers of jobs coming up for the holidays. Kohl's near Cottonwood says they plan to hire anywhere from 50 to 60 additional employees during the upcoming months. In all, retailers at Coronado could take on around 2,000 new employees. It's not only critical to get money to spend during the holiday months, but some of the jobs can turn into permanent employment later on.
I'm just kind of open to whatever I can find, and like last year I worked at Walmart, so I'm just hoping to find something with benefits and something that I'm going to enjoy.
And of course, it is still pretty early in the season. A lot of the retailers we spoke with say they don't have hard numbers as to how many employees they could potentially take on this upcoming holiday season, but they say it's never too early to start getting your resume and all your paperwork in order. Matt, back to you.
Thanks, David. Always love to hear about more jobs and people getting hired. Thank you for the info. And a lot of stores say you can always apply online and don't necessarily have to apply in person. Most of the stores say next month, beginning middle of October, the best time to do that.
Yeah.